How's it going, Sha?
It's going okay. I got the cat right just below the camera. so, so if for some reason I just completely disappear, it's because she stuck her paw on something. But
Hey.
I think we're good.
Well, listen, I feel for you
Mm.
because I got to the recording session a little bit later today than normal.
Oh,
I was like
right.
10
Okay.
minutes later than what I would have liked to have been here 10, 15 minutes later. And it was because of Scratch. Okay. So, as you know, I have to step out of my building, go into my backyard to get to my office.
Right.
This is also where we have the spare fridge. So it's filled with literally three things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my drinks,
Mm-hmm.
the extra meat that doesn't fit in the freezer upstairs,
Right.
and the milk.
Okay.
Gabby and Michaela and the kids, they drink like a gallon a day. All right, it is
Right.
what it is. So I gotta stock it here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, it's real hard. They're all like lactose intolerant. So
Right.
like I gotta have Fair Life
Right.
skim milk on deck. So anytime I see it, it ain't even like on Godshot, like it don't even need to be my store. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been on the road in Pennsylvania, saw Fairlife at the Target,
Right.
jacked them. Like, yeah, I'm taking all 8 of these.
That's so funny.
Real talk. So Gabby needed milk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going into the office. If you need me, hit me up. She said, oh, before you lock in with the pod,
Mm-hmm.
let me get the milk. So she comes out, she follows me. Scratch follows her.
Mm.
And she stands on the deck. And Gabby tells her, yo, stay there so I can get the milk. So Gabby goes. I turn to go down into my office. Gabby turns just enough to have me hand her the milk. But
Right.
that was too much for Scratch to believe that Gabby still was in existence. She
Okay.
thought, like, oh, my owner has disappeared.
Right.
You know what I mean? The guy that I don't like, but for some reason she likes,
Mm-hmm.
also disappeared. And she jumps off of the deck right onto the yo. She is out, Sha.
Oh my
And
God.
the reason we felt comfortable is because Scratch, not a street dog at all. We
Right.
walk her once a week. Michaela's the only person that's figured out how to get her down the stairs. I've
Right.
tried to walk. I went out for walks, 1 hour walks, with a solid 45 minutes of it going up and down these stairs. Like, it is not a thing she does. Okay.
Okay.
So she went from that energy the last 7 months
Mm-hmm.
to I'm gonna jump all 6 of these steps now. And then she ran rampant all over the yard.
Okay.
And then the underpass of my gate, it ain't perfect. All
Right.
right. My gate is dope. My sidewalk cement game, not dope.
Okay.
So it's literally, I think, almost broken specifically for her to fit through.
Oh no.
She on the sidewalk, Scratches in the streets.
Oh.
And it's like half like excitement of like, yo, this I haven't seen this world in ages.
Right.
And half I haven't seen it. This is scary.
Right.
Like, what is all this shit? So like I see like there's like a second where she'll get like excited,
Mm-hmm.
run 3 feet, and then freeze because she's never seen like a rock like that before.
Right.
You know, I got no way of predicting what she's doing.
Oh no.
Okay. Gabby and I, we don't move, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not what we don't run around after shit no more. Our kids are teenagers.
Right.
They
They do
listen.
all the running in the
They
house.
do the running. Real talk. Hey, go get that. Go pick this up. You know what I mean? I wrote no bullshit. Right now, I'm pointing to it. I got 2 magazines that fell behind my desk earlier today that I'm waiting for my kids to get here to come pick up. Okay? I don't do none of that shit no more. Okay? And I'm on the sidewalk chasing a fucking dog with my wife right before the episode starts. That's what we're
Oh
doing.
my
We outside in the
gosh.
streets. And my dad was outside on the other end of the block by his crib.
Of course.
So he sees the nonsense. He starts calling Scratch just for fun. And I'm like, dude, wait, we ain't chilling. Like, this ain't
Right.
for kicks. Don't distract the dog more. I'm like, start walking here. But he a slow walker. He on a cane.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, he the only one that should be slow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, I'm waving him forward, and we start to form like a wall
Sure.
around her. So I get on the street. Gabby stays on the sidewalk by our house. My
Mm-hmm.
dad stays on the sidewalk by his house, and we converge on Scratch. You know? Real talk. That's what my like 10 minutes right before potting was.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then we gave Gabby scratch. She went back to work because she was on
Mm.
the clock this whole time.
Right,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? She logged in. So she thought I'm gonna step out for 2 seconds, get this milk from
Mhm.
downstairs. She gone for 10 minutes chasing the dog on the sidewalk.
I
Nobody know.
mean, that shit happens with a dog,
Real talk.
you know? When I had Gertie, when, I could let her out the back in the backyard, and like I said, there was like a driveway and a carport, and the backyard was mostly fenced in, except the carport part extended past the yard and the
Okay.
fence. So you could but it was a covered place where you could put your car, but around it was just like a big drop off. The land just dropped off, and then it's just trees with vines and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like a rainforest right behind my house that stopped where the fence was for my yard, but then a little part of the carport. So she could go out and not even have to worry about the no fencing. She just run out that carport and then just go down into the fucking gulch or whatever the whatever is there, and somehow would make it back to the front door. So when she was done running around, she somehow would come back around to the street side of the house, the
Hell
front.
yeah.
And so this was when my friend Keith was living with me with my roommate, and I'd come home from work and he's like, "Oh, I just let Gertie out." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm waiting and I'm like, "I don't see her. I don't see her in the backyard." And he's like, "Oh, I just let her out." And I go to the front door and she's just sitting there patiently like, "Hey, what's up?" Or I would come home from work and she's just sitting at the front door already.
That's what's up.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's go in together." And I'd walk in, I'm like, "Did you let Gertie out the back?" And he's like, "I did, oh no." And I'm like, "She's with me. She's with me." Which is what made it so stressful when, she was lost for a day,
Yeah.
because she got out, not that way. She got out through the garage or the driveway doors, like, gate wasn't completely closed, and so she got out through, like, the front, and I think what happened was she was snatched up, and, she
Oh.
people were probably hoping that they could breed her,
Right.
because she's a good-looking pit bull. She's a very attractive pit bull, and, but she's fixed, and so she was gone for, from early in the day until very, very late, that night, and, my Jordan and I put signs up, trying to find her, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, I saw somebody with that dog," and, all of that stuff, um but I think it's because she didn't go out the normal way that
Ah.
she couldn't find her way back, and then she was snatched up. Um,
Real
but,
talk.
yeah, so, like, it's very so at first I was like, "Oh, she's just running around, she'll be back at the front door." And then I was like, "It's been an hour, she doesn't this isn't
Yeah.
necessary, that's not what she does." So, yeah, it can be wild.
Yo.
But
She got a story.
yeah, she had a store for sure, and also, I mean, we found her on the street too, so she wasn't one of those that's like, "Oh, I gotta get back." She's like, "Nah, let me just run these streets for a hot second, and I'll come back."
Slave stay talking about Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me see what's up. So, so I'm glad Scratch is back,
Yeah.
and had that little adventure, and boy, is she gonna be barking in her sleep tonight.
Real talk. It was a lot for us.
Mhm.
And like that's the thing. Like I know I'm gonna go upstairs after the show and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, what's up?" Like nothing
Like,
happened to her.
nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
Dogs.
you know,
I know.
telling you, I'm pro turtle. My turtle don't do this to me. Real talk. My turtle Sal mad chill, yo. No problems with
Sal?
Sal. Yeah, I ain't tell you about this.
I know you have a turtle.
Yeah, so we adopt the homie Julio Diaz.
Yeah.
His mother had a turtle. Had two
Uh-huh.
turtles. She bought them for her kids. Julio
Mhm.
being one of them. But they're adults. They've moved
Right.
out. So she's like an older lady taking care of turtles.
Right.
So she's like, hey, like, she mentioned like that she wouldn't mind giving them away if someone came up that, was a good fit. And
Mhm.
Julio mentions this to me. I was like, my kid likes like marine biology stuff, so it would actually be cool. So But he tells us the backstory. He's like, hey, we had two turtles. One was Sal, one was Manila. Okay, we had a boy and a girl turtle.
No, that's unacceptable. So
Real
the
talk.
girl turtle was called Manila?
Yeah, right. So Sal's the boy turtle. The girl turtle was called Manila.
That's
And
ridiculous.
they were 14 and like 15 when they got the turtles. Right?
Who
So
turtles were 14, 15? No, they
no,
were,
Julio
they
and,
were,
and
okay.
his sister. So
Alright.
like they got these baby turtles, so they give them silly names, cool.
Mhm.
Um,
But salmonella is
I love
wild.
it. That's kind of
Even
fire,
even by
personally.
silly turtle names, that's insane.
So a few years in, Sal killed Manila.
See?
Real talk. He
You gotta
said
wash
that.
your hands, y'all.
Real
You got
talk. He said turtles are territorial,
Yeah.
and like he took her out the game. So they were like, "Damn, that's fucked up, Sal." But we still, you still got the turtle you love. You know what I mean? So they just kept raising Sal. So then,
A family of enablers.
so then Julio is telling me this. He's like, "Yo," so they're like, what's crazy is like, we didn't think nothing of it after that. We feed her pellets, and we feed him his pellets. Sal's chilling, and like, after a few years, we noticed the Sal started laying eggs. So we Google it. It turns out that for that turtle type, the female's the aggressive one. So Manila killed Sal, and they've just been calling her Sal this whole time. So when I told Aiden the story, he was like, "We got to get this turtle." Like, he was so like, he's like, I got an actual Ninja Turtle that I could adopt. That's beautiful.
Look,
So we
do you
call her Sal
realize that
Sally.
this story to a teenage boy, this story is like prestige television.
Yo,
This is
he
this
has never
story
been
is
more.
like Better Call Saul. Like,
I've never seen that kid more excited about something in my life, yo. He's like, yo, so like she killed the other one, yeah, and no one knew for years, Aiden. He's like, that's fire. Let's get the turtle, and we got the turtle. It's in our living room. We call her Sal Sally.
uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Acknowledging both, and I
I
think it's
feel
fire.
like you need to call her whatever she feels like being called.
Real
And that's
talk,
why
whatever you want.
yeah, that's why you gotta be careful with what you call them. If the joke is salmonella,
Yeah,
but it really hinges on her being the butt of the joke because she's the manella,
she took that personal.
she as Jordan would say, and I took that personally.
Oh man, yo, but real talk, she get busy. And
Oh,
she
wow.
like the young whippersnapper. She be out here. It's a red-eared slider turtle.
Okay.
So like, but yeah, like she's mad chill. She got like a little like post. She climbs up on it when she want to sunbathe. You know what I mean? She does her swimming during the day, but she usually low key. But like once a week, we put her on the floor in the living room, and she
Mhm.
get active. She get her exercise in for the week. She does her moves surprisingly fast. Like she get busy, but she got to be like motivated. But
Okay.
yeah, I like her.
Well,
Low maintenance.
I will because we are talking animals, and I know everyone wants a Jordan story. Jordan did have a turtle that ran away.
Yo, what? Jordan. Jordan, this is when I gotta hear your side on this one, Jordan.
I have to yeah, I'll have to call her and see. I remember this because I met the turtle. I did meet the turtle. Um, but the thing was she had a turtle and she had another animal at the same time, and I feel like she had the turtle first, and then whatever the new animal was, it might have been like a hamster or a guinea pig or something, but it was stressing the turtle out. So
Oh,
one day, she's, like, cleaning out tanks or something,
right.
and so the turtle was just like, "I'm out," and I and so it ran away, and so she's like, "I can't find the turtle," and then she's like, "I think the turtle ran away," and I laughed for, like, a year. I was like,
Yo.
"Jordan, the turtle ran away?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know." Because you tear up the house looking for the turtle because 'cause you're
Yeah.
like, you couldn't have gotten far." It got far
They
enough.
got
So
Oh, that's what's up, yo. That
yeah.
turtle in New York, yo. That's what's up. turtle right for late night. It
So
living a life. It worked at a bar for a while.
so, yeah, I gotta talk to her, see if she remembers what the other animal was that freaked out. Or was it a cat? I don't know. I don't think it was a cat because I don't think she had a cat for a while, but I do know that there was another animal, and that turtle was just like, "I it's too chaotic. I can't do
Yeah.
this because Jordan already had a mess of dogs. So,
Right, right.
when we talk about all of these other animals she had, we also have to add that there were at least 2 to 4 dogs in the house, just off rip on GP. So,
That's just standard, yo.
yeah, that's just she ain't gonna go nowhere without at least 2 dogs. So that's what that is.
Yo, that's banana. I know that we have to keep Scratch and Sal separate because
Yeah.
yeah, Scratch is a Yorkie and they're like rodent hunters. So
Oh,
like by instinct, she thinks that like, oh, I gotta get this
get
thing.
this right, yeah.
Yeah, so like we like take them to we take Scratch to my daughter's room and let her play in there whenever
Mhm.
we like clean the tank. And
Right,
that
right.
gives Sal some time to kind of maneuver.
Mhm.
And then Michaela has the hope that one day they'll be able to be amicable. So she's like,
Um,
I was like,
did we forget that turtle is a killer?
real talk. I was like, yo, I don't know if you want Scratch around Sal, yo. Sal
Yo,
type thug, yo.
yeah,
Sal
I
took out
don't
somebody with a shell, you know, like Scratch is out here free, like
yeah,
outside.
no. Oh my gosh, this is like, Testify by Common. The video
Oh man,
with
before you take my
Taraji P.
shell away.
She just letting y'all believe that she's Sal and not Vanilla, and she did the crime the whole time. The queen pen.
Real talk, yo.
Before you let
Respect.
the love away. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you don't want that dog around that
Real
turtle.
talk. She
Mm-mm.
thug, yo. I'm with it. I love it.
I think turtles are I don't know, I think it's that story about them, racing the hare that we
Yeah.
just think we have this idea of turtles as being just benevolent little slow pokes and just like, "Oh,
Nah.
do, do, do." No, I and then I hear people talk about their dealings with turtles, and it's always like, "And then the thing pulled a switchblade on me." And I'm like, "What? What?"
Yo, cause like, yo, the story they tell it cute because he's walking slow. You're not
Right.
seeing it. A turtle is an OG. A turtle is like the 50-year-old dude that's still on the block.
Right.
Like he survived everything. And that's real for turtles. Turtles live 150 years. So they
Yeah.
seen things. They know.
Yes.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So he and the turtle, it's not that they can't go fast. They choosing to go slow. You know what I mean?
Right?
I seen Sal like when she got a spin, it's crazy. I seen Sal flip over. She duck in. She know all her moves is quick.
Right.
When she walking slow, it's like I'm chilling. She comfortable. She
Right.
telling you like, nah, B, you don't scare me. You understand? Like I am literally 6 feet tall, and she walk around like, yeah, that's fine. Like nothing about me being 5 feet 10 inches taller than her brings fear. So we put her on the floor and she's comfortable with that.
Right.
Yeah, you don't fuck with that. Scratch is scared of shit of me. Scratch play all the time.
Right.
Sal, chill.
Yeah.
That's how I know not to mess with Sal. I give Sal's the best fed person in this house. On time, I overfeed her. I'm not messing with that turtle. That turtle is
What
peace.
happened to her eggs?
She eats them.
Oh, shit.
Real
Come
talk.
on.
Real talk. Eats the eggs every single time. The Julio's mom told us that. She was like, yeah, like she lays eggs, it's gonna get messy. You don't gotta worry about it though. She eats it and it's gone. I don't gotta worry about it. She's like, yeah, you don't gotta worry about it. She lays them and they will disappear. Yo, Sal is different.
Holy crap.
And
Yeah,
that's why they didn't notice it at first, because like they have a bunch of rocks in the tank.
right,
So they thought it was just like, oh, it just got messy. Maybe like, Sal was shitting.
right,
But it wasn't Sal. It was Manila laying eggs and her like, all right, well, y'all are being late with dinner. This is dinner now.
right.
Real
Or
talk.
no one's fertilizing these bitches.
Word.
So,
You know what I mean?
oh my
Chomp
god.
chomp. Real talk, yo.
Man, I okay, so I don't know if I have it in me to keep a killer in my house like that.
But they in the tank.
Yeah, but they can be out the tank too. You know what I mean? Don't tell me they don't have, like, a little diamond. They can put a circle in that tank and punch it out.
Yo, every time that like she has like a little like table that like she could like get on top of. She
Mhm.
does it for exercise and also like we point the light to that so that if she wants to kind of like sunbathe or something,
Right, right.
she goes up there. And like if you're not looking, I feel like she climbs it faster. Like if you try to like if she could tell you looking, she be pretending like it's a struggle.
Yeah.
But like if we like watching TV, I'm like, yo, hold up. Like that was type quick, homie. And like every now and then, like I'll catch her like looking up, like she plotting, like, how do I move that top surface?
Yeah.
And I think she be testing when everybody's asleep. I think she be poking it.
No, absolutely.
Real talk.
Yeah. Okay. So, now we know turtles are not to be trusted.
Oh man, don't fight them, B. Real talk.
Mm-mm.
Turtles is dope. Let's get
Dang.
into the news. Oh, happy news for Shalewa kicking us off. Sesame Street officially finds a new home. That's right. It is back, baby. The beloved children's program recently announced that it has found a new home on Netflix after being on HBO and Max since 2016. Uh, we are excited to announce that all new Sesame Street episodes are coming to Netflix worldwide, along with library episodes. And new episodes will also release the same day on PBS stations and PBS Kids platforms in the US, preserving the 50-plus-year relationship.
All
Uh,
right. How many people sent you this article?
I got this, I think 3 times.
Okay, let's triple that for me. I mean, and I know some were definitely from Troops and Correspondents, and some were just from people who know me. I got a lot of people like, "Hey, did you?" I did, thank you. Okay, alright, I know that's your peoples. Yes.
Was wild.
Yeah, they are my peoples, you are correct. Um, so I'm thrilled that they found a place because I was very upset. And
Right,
I wasn't happy that they had to make that deal to begin
right.
with HBO. I was just like, that just feels only because HBO is a premium. I was like, not the the kids that need to see it don't necessarily live in households that get HBO,
Okay,
right? So I was just like, ugh. Um I couldn't understand why that was even an issue, but, who knows? So, Netflix, I think there's more of a chance, there are plenty of folks who don't have HBO, but Netflix seems to have saturated the market of streaming, as it were. Um, but, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy that it'll still be available on PBS Kids and all that stuff. Here's my question about these
okay.
library episodes where they're going to have shows, previous seasons and whatnot.
Yeah,
How far back are we going?
huh,
You know what I mean? I mean, like, not that HBO basically just had whatever was that season, kept it up for a little bit, and then next season, I think they maybe they had like 2 seasons at a time up, the current one and the one before.
right.
Um, and I mean, we're talking it is 50 plus years.
Yeah, they go back to
That
1969, it says here.
so, like, how I wonder how far back, those goes because there are maybe 2 DVD box sets that were, like, early Sesame Street.
Yeah,
Um, not necessarily like, here's episode 1, here's episode 2, but just, like, a lot of the stuff that came on those. Um, but a funny thing about the DVD sets is that there's a disclaimer on them that's
okay.
like, "Hey, so this is how we lived in the '70s." So if you're watching this with your kid and they're
Right.
like, "Why is that kid by themselves on a busy street?" Just explain, "We didn't love our children in the '70s," or whatever it was. Just like, think of it as, I don't know, like a documentary or whatever, but, like, just know that they may tackle subjects that you might not be comfortable. And I was like, "Sesame Street? What? What do you mean it's for the it's for the kids. But,
Yeah.
um, I mean, my favorite I know I've mentioned it on here before, one of my favorite Sesame Street moments is the girl taking her llama to the dentist.
Amen.
And, but that girl is by herself. Like, she is walking that llama by herself down what looks to be, like, the Upper West Side. So
That's wild.
so, yeah, and what the only person with her is the cameraman.
Yo.
And she's by herself, and they go in there, and the dentist looks at the llama's teeth, and they do the thing, and then she's singing someone's singing the song, and then she walks them out. And at the time, I was just like, "Yeah." Because I remember being a kid and walking like,
Yeah.
before we moved to, Georgia, you know, I would walk my sister to school and then walk myself to school, and I'm, like, 8 or whatever, and we the street we walked was Flatbush. We walked Flatbush Ave.
Yo.
Yeah, and, I mean, again, this is, you know, 79,
Yeah.
80, whatever, and yes, they were just letting you're letting kids go. And then in the '80s, you know, latchkey kids were
Yeah.
latchkey kids, so, I mean, who yeah, they're everybody's just free running the streets. And then at some point, parents started to really, you know, be helicopter parenting and watching their kids all the time and blah, 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 and so if that is what your child is used to, here's a disclaimer so that you're not giving your kid, "Hey, just know this is how they used to do it. We don't do it like this anymore." You know, that's how kids were snatched up and all that kind of shit, and I'm just like, "That's the wildest thing I've ever seen, a disclaimer."
It is,
So, that's why I wonder, I'm like, "How far back will they go?" Will they go back pre-Elmo? Is that
nah.
possible?
Yeah, I don't think you can go that far.
Like,
I
eh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
got off, I think, at, like, 96, somewhere around there.
is what, when Elmo joined?
I don't know, I'm just thinking of a year where, like, I felt that pivot of,
Mm.
like, parents watching where I was going.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, probably. Yeah, mid to late '90s is probably right.
Yeah, somewhere around there is good. I know that, uh, when I was growing up, I was one of the more watched kids.
Why?
Like, in the sense that I don't know why, but, like, I just I can't
Oh.
speak for my parents, but I felt like my mom watched me disproportionately more than my
Oh.
peers were being watched.
Okay, alright.
And by today's standards, it's regular, even less than what's expected of parents. But
Mhm,
at the time, she was viewed as like, "Yo, you doing a lot."
mhm.
And, like, when I stayed at my grandparents' house, which was on Fulton and Cleveland in Brooklyn,
Okay.
the the walk I every day would walk from there to the library, which was like 3 blocks away, Highland
Mhm.
Park, and those were like were discussions to her. Like, "Yo, like, I really wanna do this." My friends would be there, and, like, she would be like, "Fine, fine, fine." Whereas if I brought up that same walk to Gabby or to, like, one of our friends, like, "Yo, you should let your kid go play at the park at 8." You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
8 years old, they're old enough to walk 4 blocks. That would blow their mind.
Right.
Like, that's not a thing. I don't think my kids would have like if I told my kids at 8 walk to the park, walk to Highland Park from my where my grandparents' house was, they would have thought like I was abandoning them. They would have been like, "Oh, this is like it's over for us as a family. Like, why is dad doing this?" You know? They've definitely been raised to like there's someone around,
Okay.
you know? But in turn, I also know I was the last kid in my class to ask for a bus pass. And I asked in 4th grade. So I had friends of mine, 2nd, 3rd grade, with
Already
bus
on the
passes, like going home
yeah.
several stops away. Like, yeah, MTA, regular bus pulling up to the school,
Mhm.
not because they went to the school to get kids, there
But
just
because there
happened
was
to
a
be a
bus
bus
stop.
stop there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're full on adults going to life.
Wow.
It was 2nd and 3rd graders getting off at PS 345 to the B13. Saying like Yo, little kid like messed up on a spelling bee with chocolate. And that
Mm.
dude is on a bus right now by himself.
Yeah. I
So we
think
was different back then.
yeah, I mean, I think for us where we lived off of Flatbush, um, 6 blocks down was, my dad's cousin, who is, the woman who takes my mail now, who
Okay.
lives yeah, um, where she was with her kids, and then another 4 blocks down from that is where I would turn to walk down a block or 2 to go to school.
Wow.
So, it was like, if, like, halfway through your walk, you're confused, you know how to get to this house, right? Right.
Right.
And then you know how to you know what I mean? But it was like
You
'cause
got landmarks.
yeah, you know where you're going. Here's the laundromat. You know it's what. Just stay on Flatbush. Don't end up on Rogers or anything like that. Just stay on Flatbush. And so I know we did that because then when we moved to Georgia, um, the walk, like we came after the school year started, and so it was just like my sister, I'd have to look out for my sister again, but they were just like, "You're just gonna have them do what now? They're so little." So, we went to, like, an after-school program. So, a bus would
Okay.
come and pick us up from the elementary school, take us to this after-school program at this preschool where my sister was, and that way my parents could come by and get us both. And then the following year, my sister entered my school. So we were in the same school. And then my mom was like, "Here's your key on the chain. Here's how you walk. You also are responsible for that one." Like, "Oh, I got another kid? And here's your father's work number. Let's practice calling it and what you say. So here you fake dial and we would play, we'd have the dial, we'd act it out,
That's beautiful.
you know, blah, blah, blah. Hello, may I speak to Lonnie Sharp, please? Sure, hold on. And then there's an extension, and then he would get, or
That's
his
awesome.
secretary would get on and they'd know, just tell him I'm home. Like, and if we didn't call 45 minutes after school was out, it was a problem.
Hell yeah.
And then they get home when they got home. And so there was a year, there's a year of me walking in New York, and then a year of me having to do this after school thing. And then I'm back to walking, and that's it. You got it from here. However, you got to get there and back. Y'all
Don't even
got it, but
call
you
us
don't
no more.
need
You
us.
good. We'll see you
Yeah,
at the house.
like literally, we moved, went to different. They were like, "Yeah, you figure it out though, how to get there and back, right? You don't need me anymore, do you?"
Yo, real talk. Yeah, and they had to. They had stuff to do too.
They absolutely had they had
Real
second
talk.
jobs to go to, so it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, absolutely. So, I wonder what that looks like. I never thought about how that looks to, like, today's
A little kid.
children
Yeah.
or whatever because, but when I saw that disclaimer on the Sesame Street box set, I was like, "Oh, shit, I guess that does look different, huh?"
Hell yeah.
I guess I guess it does. And so, like, to sit down and see and think that you have to answer these questions of your kids, like, "Why are they all on the train? What's a train? Why are they
Yeah.
all on the subway to get" you know what I mean? Like, how
Yo.
is that possible?
Yeah,
Just
because there's no like none of that would happen because there was no infrastructure. Like like for example, like my mom when I was like 4, she had a full-time job and she was going to college.
Mhm.
And my dad worked for somebody at a bodega and then went to his bodega.
Right,
Like literally, like every day they had 2 things that they had to fully do.
right, right.
And none of those places did any of those people ever ask, "Hey, how do you take care of your kids?"
Nope,
Nobody did. There was
nobody
no
asked.
nobody asked. The idea of like in business care for your kids in like that wasn't even a dream. Like that
Yeah.
none of that existed. There was no infrastructure for taking care of your kids. There was just an assumption that yeah, we all got them, but like since we're all here, they're fine, right?
We
Like
all got them. We just do whatever with them.
yeah,
That's
you
so
know.
funny.
It's just no one could like hurt your kid because we're all here working. You know what I mean? So like they're fine. They're just other kids around them, so they're
They know
fine.
when to come inside.
You know. And so it was just a whole different thing of that. Like, yeah, you know, something else I'm curious about.
Mm,
With you in particular, how much older are you than your sister?
3 years.
So, like, my siblings are a year apart. My
Mhm.
kids are a year and a half apart, just about.
Right.
I'm always curious whenever it's 4 years or less. Did
Okay.
your parents decide make decisions up or down? Meaning, like, if something comes up and we got to make a decision quickly, was their instinct we got to make this safe for the younger kid or make everybody grow up? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, ooh, I don't know. Probably more on the make everybody grow up thing.
Yeah, like that. What you're just describing, that's a up decision to make.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was, "Okay, you stay with your sister, she's got the key," until
Right,
you were old enough to have your own key hanging, your own keychain hanging around the neck under the clothing, and, then, okay, you guys can go off, and there weren't a lot of things where it's like, "Take your sister." I mean,
right,
there were some things, but, like, it wasn't it it was it didn't feel, I don't know, it just felt like, "Yeah, no, this is what you gotta do."
right.
We're all in this together. This is what you're doing. And also, we lived at the time in like an apartment complex where all the kids, it was a new complex. So buildings were still being built. And so there were all the kids that were there. It was very like Lord of the Flies. Like we were just running around. We were in each other's apartments constantly because everyone's parents were gone. So from
This
like,
is awesome.
yeah, like, we were just all in each other's shit and just jumping on piles of dirt where they hadn't built buildings yet. So everybody kind of had to be kind of had to match the older kids because they were the de facto leaders of everybody
Right.
running around. So you just had to kind of keep up with whatever it was they were doing because we weren't so old that we were like, we're in cars now. We're all still
Kids.
outside. So you got to kind of keep up with the oldest one. So I
Oh,
think that, and I think that's kind of how the parents moved as well. And then we ended up going to different high schools. So then we had our own completely different worlds. So yeah, I don't
oh.
know.
I'm always curious about that. Just like to see, like, because it usually tells me something about like the kid of like, okay, like I really trust this older kid is developed more maturely,
Mhm.
so I could trust him with the younger kid. By the same token, like we usually decided up. Michaela's pretty mature.
Mhm.
Aiden's like usually willing to listen. By the same token, there were I had friends of ours with kids that were a year apart that would decide the opposite because they were too smart and knuckleheads. So they were like,
Okay.
nah, like they're gonna work together to do dumb shit. You know what I
Ah,
mean? So like
got
I
it.
gotta like age down the decisions. Like I gotta put more restraints.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, we were idiots, but we were both girls, so we weren't, like, outwardly idiots,
Right, right,
you know? We were like, we would fight, but they wouldn't see it.
right.
So, like, that kind of thing. They were like, "Oh, our mature daughters," and it's like, "Okay, but once a month, we literally try to kill each other." So there's that. They only saw that once.
That's awesome.
One day, my sister and I are, like, at each other's throats, and my dad came in like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And we're like, "What?" We've been doing this for years.
Gotta get it out the system, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. In other news, the first driverless semis have started running regular long haul routes.
Uh-uh. No.
Driverless trucks are officially running their first regular long haul routes, making round trips between Dallas and Houston. On Thursday, autonomous trucking firm Aurora announced it launched commercial services in Texas under its first customers, Uber Freight, of course, is Uber, and Hirschbach Motor Lines, which delivers time and temperature sensitive freight. Both companies conducted test runs with Aurora, including safety drivers to monitor the self driving technology dubbed Aurora Driver. Aurora's new commercial service will no longer have safety drivers.
Okay. Here's why they're doing that in Texas, because it's flat as fuck.
Word.
That's why you can do that from Dallas to Houston. Yeah, that's flat. There are
Yeah,
no
that's
big there are no hills, there are no big curves. You just as far as the eye can. Yeah, sure, it's gonna work there. Try to get something to or from Chattanooga.
okay.
You ain't gonna be able to do it. If you gotta get something from, like, Atlanta to Nashville and you gotta go through Chattanooga, that's right around Chattanooga, right there at the border is all just it's very hilly.
Yeah.
It's the bottom of the Appalachians, and, I mean, what trucks have to do they got driveways for when if a truck runs away, it can just go into that driveway off to the side and
Right.
just kinda it there's no way those can't be driverless. Man,
I hope not. This is wild.
I mean, part of me is like, this is, a bad idea because I don't trust it, and then part of me is like, this is a bad idea because, the corporations, are taking away jobs from people, and they're just trying to make money, and this can't end well, and honestly, I don't see the difference between either of those 2 schools of thought now.
Yeah, real talk. Real talk.
Like, I can't understand w why that's such a big those truck they're so big. Why would you
Yeah.
let nothing be in the I can't.
Real talk. Like they're and also to just for their sake,
Mhm.
the uh the trucks are equipped with computers and sensors that can see the length of 4 football fields. In 4 years of practice hauls, the truck technology delivered over 10,000 customer loads across 3 million miles with human supervision. And as of Thursday, the company's self-driving tech has completed over 1,200 miles without a human in the truck.
Go
Um,
to Chattanooga.
I don't understand why they can't do this exact same thing and just leave someone in the truck.
I
Real talk.
know.
Let it drive and just for my reassurance, if something goes wrong, I want someone there to say, "Oh, that's crazy. Let me fix that."
Yeah, like, if you have because if I'm understanding this correctly, what they had were people from far away monitoring?
Yeah.
Alright, so if you've got these people from far away monitoring, you still can have 24-hour eyes on if you have people working different shifts, and then you just got a guy in the truck who in case some
Yeah.
shit pops off.
Yeah. He literally like just have him with a headphone set. Yeah, you see that? You see that?
But
Okay,
then
I got you.
will you then have to is the worry that you have to stop the truck because the guy in the truck will still have to have a mandated
30
8-hour
feet.
break or some shit like that? If so, stop the fucking truck. What's going on?
Yeah.
I can't.
You could trade there's ways of working that out. Like you could have like because now like a pit stop is easier. You know what I mean? Like you could trade people off. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
true. I've definitely been on a mega bus that, had the stop where you pick up the people and then went to a hotel where we switched drivers.
yeah. You go, yo, it's your sleep time, B. You
Yeah,
take a nap, come over here, and it still works as a long haul route. That
right.
person still like is gone the same hours, but there is a refreshed person in the car for an emergency. That's all I'm asking.
I
Stuff goes
mean,
wrong, B.
I just we I there are some things I know they're trying to automate every fucking thing. Um, but that just seems like a nightmare, especially the minute they hit Chattanooga. I can't and I'm not trying to come down hard on Chattanooga. I like to drive around Chattanooga, except when I get to them damn things at night. At night, I don't like it. I don't like it at night. In the daytime, it's kinda nice, but at night, it's a little and when you're going up is I don't know. Either way, it's a little stressful for me in a Civic. So imagine what it's like for nobody in a semi.
If you would like to join the new NASCAR race, the Chattanooga 50, okay? Real short race.
Very
Um,
short.
very short race. All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings, 4 stars. You think you could do the Chattanooga with no training? Come on, B. I don't believe in your driving skills.
Nah.
You ain't built for that. 5 stars, you a Chattanooga professional, but it's because you've earned it with respect. You've done the laps many times. Okay, salute to you, sir.
Oh,
You know,
man. It's a little spooky.
real talk, it's up there.
It's up there. I mean, those hills, I mean, when they have drawings of the trucks, like, here's what it looks like when you jackknife, so hit your brakes, and you're like, "Oh, shit." And it's just anywho.
I want a whole race series of nothing but weird, real life roads. I want the Chattanooga 50. I want
Mm.
the Jackie Robinson 3.
Oh, wow.
You know what I
Yo.
mean?
That shit, look, I love a curvy road. If you feel I used to live off of this road, Hambrick Road in Stone Mountain. Shout out to anyone who knows the stretch between Rockbridge Road and Memorial Drive. That shit is curvy.
Yo.
And once I learned how to drive, all I wanted to do was master that so I could do it with one hand. Real cool, like that Jackie Robinson though. Mm-mm. I'm like, "Everybody slow down." I just wanna yell out the window, "Everybody slow the fuck down. Where are you going so fast?"
Real talk. You're already there. That's what the thing is. It's at the end of the thing. So
Right?
I'm like, wherever you go, we either just started or you already got there.
It's
So
not
chill
even
out.
that long.
Real talk. The crazy curves is on exit 3.
Right?
So like, yo, we here. Like, yo, chill out. You're already there, homie. Calm down.
Oh my god. Take the streets.
Word, go local. Real talk. Get a good slice of pizza over there in Queens. You
Oh
good. You
my
by Glendale.
god.
Oh man. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to Sweet to FCBLJ. With all that said, I am the Jackie Robinson veteran, but admittedly virgin to the Chattanooga. Excited to try it out.
Yeah,
Gastor
yeah, you
Almonte.
gotta try Chattanooga because it's that, but on a hill, on a
Yeah,
hillside.
hills are gonna get me. Real talk.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I ain't familiar with that life. I want to try
yeah.
it. With the Chattanooga vet. You know what I mean? With trauma from both races though.
Yes.
Shalewa Sharpe.
I think I've only driven, Jackie Robinson once, and I was like, "Man, if I get to where I understand this, I would love this, but right now?" Oh.
Yo, that race is. I told you, my boy Jeff. He literally had like the weirdest sets, but he's the guy that taught me how to drive.
Mhm.
Um, he took me to what is now Gateway Mall in East New York. It used to be abandoned over there. It was
Okay.
nothing but like vacant lots and like random spare stacks of tires from other
Yeah.
people teaching people how to drive. He
Okay.
took me down there. He got out of my car. He ran in front of the car, and then he said, "Run." He said, "Drive."
Mm.
And he didn't tell me any other instruction but that. And essentially, his goal was to see how close I would get to him before hitting the brakes to test my fear. Okay,
Okay.
This is a Jeff system. So he's like, "All right, now I know where we're starting from." That
What?
straight up.
Yo, what kind of
Jeff is my boy Jeff Morales. That's my homie. Real talk for life. That's my dude.
I can't even.
Then he took me to the Wendy's on Atlantic Avenue in East New
Okay.
York,
Alright.
and he had me do spins around the Wendy's parking lot, but I
Donut?
can't go. I had to go around the whole building with the turns, but I could never go under 20, which is really hard in a small parking lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then finally, if I mastered those two, I could
Uh-huh.
do the Jackie, where I got to do the whole curve, never go below 40.
Did he show you how to parallel park? I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
like we got those. That was easy. He's like, we'll do that later at the end. This is what we start with. We got to know you could drive, and
Oh
that was
my.
literally how I learned how to drive. I would at the time we lived in it was like 2 years we lived in Bushwick, so we would steal my dad's car.
Sure.
We would put like garbage cans in so I could have the same spot when I got back,
Right.
and I would literally do this run at like 3 in the morning, and then
Oh.
we did this for like 3 weeks.
Oh
Real
my
talk, yo.
god.
Shouts to Jeff. Appreciate you, my G. Still drive with that advice to this day. Amen.
I can't yo,
Hey,
that's
yo,
wild. That's honestly that's insane.
to this day, I told him, yo, if real talk, if I'm ever on some OJ shit and I'm on a white Bronco, Jeff is
That's
driving.
Jeff is driving.
I've said it from jump. He is the best regular car driver I've seen in my life. Real talk. Fun fact, he's in like one of the like unions now. Like he like like he works in the industry, like unrelated to any of this shit. He does like he does set design or some
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Real talk. I like found
Okay.
out like recently. He's like, yeah, he's like a pool shark, and like so he was winning like pool tournaments.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
like
Yeah, this seems like the natural trajectory for
real
Jeff.
talk. Jeff's career path is crazy.
Yeah,
real talk.
yeah. Well, his rationale for how to teach you to drive is insane.
Real talk. Jeff went from like 6 months at like the EPA to like a bouncer to like pool hustler.
Uh-huh.
And then he like befriended some people at the bar he was pooling at,
Right.
and they like got him into the union. He's
Man,
like,
I swear, everybody I know that's in some sort of union had some crazy life, and now they're like, and then I met these Teamsters, and now they.
Low-key, Teamsters out here saving lives, yo.
I know. They're like, I see where you're going, son, and it ain't no place good. Just come on in here with us.
See you on the racetracks. Catch y'all next time. Peace.